Welcome back, friends. Just when you thought there wasn't any more Goetia Tarot decks available, surprise, there's one more. And it is badass. So, if you love tarot and you love the Goetia, like I know you do, you're going to absolutely love this deck. So, this is a La Scarborough tarot deck. Now, I have plenty of Scarborough decks. Some of them I was impressed with. Some of them I thought were just, mediocre. This deck here goes far above and beyond. And I'll tell you why. Now, first of all, the size of these cards is just about perfect size, I think. Not too big, not too small. I have to say the cardstock is very... it's not flimsy. It's not middle of the road. It's an upper... It's not bendy. It's not flappy like a lot of cards are. It's not cheap. There is a nice shine to the back of them. This deck is pretty good. The art and the pictures are well worth the $26 I paid on Amazon for it. I have not been through this deck more than twice yet, just looking at pictures. I've used it a couple of times, but for the most part I would say that these cards are gonna be probably one of my main decks now. I'm gonna start deck bonding, which is something I want to talk about for us tarot readers. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept, so let's get right into it. So, here's our book. Like all La Scarborough decks, it's got it in Italian and a couple different languages. This is definitely a universal book. And you know, their play on the Goetia is a more sinister, darker, Clipothic version. The other ones are more classic Goetia style picture type decks. There's nothing standing out in this book that I would say makes it amazing or anything, but there is nice charts that show you the layout of the cards, what's in each card. So anyway, handy book, not too big, not too small. Book's fine. So let's do a quick shuffle and pull some random cards, because I don't like to spoil the entire deck for people by going through the whole thing. I just like to give an impression of what I think is the best. I don't know why these cards are all mixed up. Some are facing one way or some are facing the other. I don't know how that happened. So, I feel like there's some additional cards because this deck feels much thicker than a typical 78 card deck. I should count them and see if there's some additional cards they put in. Let's just cut this puppy right in half, start previewing. Oof, this is difficult to read because my eyes are not good right now. Very dark imagery. almost to the point where it's difficult to. I mean, look at that. For Osmodee, I couldn't think of a cooler depiction. Has the astrological and planetary symbols. It also has the elemental symbol associated with each demon. It even has the Goetia symbol responsible for each demon in the upper right hand corner. Anyway, that's that card. Let's check the next one out. Very unique. Very unique. And the reason I'm holding it up, giving you a good chance to look at it, is I know that these cards are difficult to read because it's black and white. But they definitely have captured the humanoid spirit of the Goetia spirits, so can't complain. So you may be asking yourself, well, Jason, why do you collect so many decks of the same variety? So this is the 4th Goetia Tarot deck that I have that specializes with demons. The artist did a really good job on these depictions. They're extremely sinister, but at the same time they're appealing. I think that is a great depiction of Person. Is that Person? Who is this? Crap, I can't even see. Sabnock. Okay. I think it's Sabnock. You know, he's on his horse. He has some cool background. There's a moon in the back. It is a pictorial depiction of them, very close to the way they're described in the Goetia book. So, let me give you a handful of others. Excellent reflective material on these cards. So, without spoiling any more of the deck, I'd just like to say this. So, when I buy a new deck, I do something that I call deck bonding. So, I will look at each individual card, gaze intently upon it, and try to get a feeling for the energy of each card. I can see that these are going to be a chore to keep straight because the front looks very similar to the back if you're not careful. They're already all mixed up. And one of the things I will do is I will blow into the deck. It's a way of putting your energy directly into a deck. I may pass each card gently over a lit candle flame to purify the cards and to balance the energy of these cards by the 4 elements. So I may take some blessed and consecrated water that's been blessed by spirits of my pantheon, and without using a lot of moisture, because you don't want to do any damage, just a little bit on the outside of the cards. Okay? You can use salt water, you can use blessed water, you can use holy water from a church, you can do whatever you want, but it's nice to consecrate these cards. So basically, deck bonding is a form of consecration, and what it is it's making these cards from cardboard and ink into a magical tool for my usage. And the back of the deck, the picture in the back is very chaotic. It's kind of subject to interpretation, a little abstract, definitely hellish. So it lives up to its expectation for a Goetia deck. And I truly feel that it was worth the money I paid for it. Again, I don't review stuff that I don't like. I'm not going to get into a war with someone over me insulting their favorite author or deck. So I'd rather leave it open to the decks that are good. Maybe I will do a video on bad decks. That might be a good idea. You tell me, guys. You tell me what you think is good for a video in regards to what decks not to buy. That might be a subject that's worth covering. And if I sound a little slow tonight, it's because I have had a very large and very powerful margarita. You've been warned. So I just want to add that when you have something that you have purchased that's new, that's going to be used for your practice, the big thing is to make it your own in some way, shape, or form. A lot of people will take their decks out and put them in a felt bag. I've always kept mine in the box because I feel like I'm a collector, and I always try to preserve my cards and keep them in the best possible shape. I like the idea of carrying them in a bag, but I'm not a professional reader. I read for myself primarily. So anyway, Scarborough did a good job. These are not cheap. These are not watered down anything. This is a totally unique, totally individual. Let me look at the symbols they put on there. That's great. The Seal of Solomon, a couple other cool symbols. So I don't think it'll let you down. For you guys that love the Goetia as much as I do, I'm really pretty positive that you're going to be running to get this deck. And while I'm speaking, I just want to give a quick shout out to Carrie. I recommended her channel a while back. She is helping me find a missing sibling of one of my friends, and she's working on that currently. So I just want to give her a big thank you and let her know, thank you, Carrie, because I don't think you realize how appreciated you are, and the work you do deserves credit. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Dark blessings, my friends.